Hello everyone and welcome to Shelf Space. I'm your host Roz13 and today we are looking at the HD Gundam Seed CGue type deep arms. Yep, it's another Gundam Seed kit. And yes, I'm still on the black Rodimus Road to Destruction, Devastation, whatever set cloth because I haven't felt like changing it just yet. But show must go on. So let's go ahead and take a look at this thing, starting with the packaging. So we have very cool illustration of the CGue type deep arms on this very just plain black background. It's kind of nice, really. As a designer, I dig it. It should be noted that this is from 2004, which I think actually makes it older than the Strike Noir, which was at the time of that review the oldest kit we've looked at. So we got the HD Gundam Seed logo, not to be confused with HG Cosmic Era. We have Gundam Seed MSV mobile suit variations. That's where they kind of throw in all these interesting extra ideas that they have. We have a regular mobile CGue in the back there on some sort of flying platform thing that I'm sure has a special name, and I don't remember what it is. But we have a blue Bandai logo as opposed to the usual red that you would see on this kit originally, and that shows that this is a reissue under the Bandai Spirits name, which Bandai Spirits does all Gunpla now, but when you see it on these older packagings, that shows that this is a reissue. Anyway, on this side, we have some nice action shots of a painted version of the kit. Mine doesn't look quite like this. Mine isn't painted, at least not yet, but I wanted to show it off to you guys first. So there's all sorts of cool things. We got a write-up about MSV. Not that I can read any of this because all of this is in Japanese with the exception of these parts. Front view, rear view, armament, action, personal mark. Then on this side we have MSV-05, so it's the fifth one in this MSV series for Gundam Seed. Same illustration before, same text as before. Then on this side, we have a write-up about, I guess this is the pilot and mobile suit itself, showing scenes from, it did appear in the anime, though specifically it appeared in the Astray Red Frame OVA. I'm pretty sure it was the Astray Red OVA. Considering this looks like it's on a nighttime background on Earth, and I think Blue Frame took place in space. I think I'm right on that. Anyway, here is a call out for another thing that I don't know what it's called. Another type of CGue though. The barcode is covered up, but I can just barely see that the in price has been removed and the thing isn't centered. So even though whoever sold this to me covered this up, I'm still sad. This side, same as the other, except we get the Bluefin sticker. And yeah, all right. Enough of the box. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual figure now. All right, and here he is in all his CGue-ness. And I gotta say, it cuts a very impressive figure. I dig this quite a bit. Color separation isn't exactly what it should be. These parts along here should be silver or like a kind of a light blue. Same with parts in here and like the thrusters and stuff. But truth be told, it doesn't look too bad in stock plastic colors. Now, this is a very old kit, and because of that, it has a lot of things that very old kits have, such as seam lines going right down the middle of the legs and the arms. We'll cover this more in articulation, but there is no butterfly joint whatsoever. Its shoulder is a post that sticks out, and you plug in the arm via a polycap. So, something to be aware of. But really, all things considered, it's pretty darn good. And the color separation it does have is actually pretty decent. I think the only sticker I ended up using was for the face. You have to put the black down for the visor and then the little orange sticker for the mono eye. And that is it. It does have three others. Some blue ones to go over the foot there. And I can't remember where this... Oh, no, now I remember. This light blue part, I think, went right there on the front. And I don't think it needs it. I think it looks fine like this. Maybe I'll change my mind when I do eventually paint this guy or something. But yeah, I think this looks pretty darn cool. Let's go ahead and start talking about articulation though. So as usual, we're going to start our articulation talk with the head and looking at the sculpt on this thing. And I really dig this thing. You can very much tell that it's sort of a Zaku-like kit. But it has enough stuff to kind of make it its own. So I dig it. The articulation is a little bit lacking though. You're on like a ball joint, but everything is very restricted, so you can only look so far left and right. I mean, it still gives you a natural look around. You can't really look up though, and you really can't look down. I guess I should also note that I did panel line this thing, so that's why you do see some details popping out more than others. But an example of color separation that you wouldn't necessarily expect, this little orange piece back there, that is plastic. They could have just as easily as made that a sticker, and they didn't, and I appreciate that. The way this fin in the back is assembled is kind of weird because it's like two parts that come together, so you get a kind of a bad seam line, and there's some nub issues there that are kind of unavoidable. As for the shoulders, like I said before, they plug into a post, so you have no butterfly joint whatsoever, but you do get some rotation that will be blocked by these armatures in the back, and some hinging outwards, and then single jointed elbow that does not even get you 90 degrees. So that is very much a bummer there. These armatures on the back have a little bit of hinging. You can see the joint down in there. And then these weapons that are on the shoulders have a ball joint that allows for a little bit of waggle, but really they're designed to hinge like this, with this part coming up and then going forward, and that's basically its sort of blasting mode, which I actually kind of dig how this looks. As I mentioned before, the illustrations show that this piping and this vent here, these should be like silver or a similar blue color, and they're not, which that's unfortunate, but to be honest, I don't think it looks that bad. I kind of want to hit this all with like maybe some gunmetal or something and call it a day, maybe put a little bit of weathering on it or something. It looks fine. His torso doesn't have a whole lot, just a single, rotation here, no real ab crunch. There's I think it's on a ball joint, so you get a little bit of this, but it's not much to really write home about. Will you please just focus? The side skirts to hinge a little bit and rotate. This one has a scabbard for, I'm blanking on what they call it, but it's basically his version of the like anti-beam or anti-ship sword. Technically, this blade shouldn't be in it, but it's a pain in the butt to get in and out, so I'm just leaving it there. That's also why this thing doesn't sit quite as cleanly in there as it should. Though I still want to say, this is something that I like. I dig the fact that he has this sword, and it just clips to his side like a knight. I love that. Let's see. You can... The skirts are connected together with... I don't think there's any real way to separate them, but you can flip them up and kick pretty decently high. And double jointed knee, but not much of a bend. Can kick back a little bit if you go off to the side. And the butt flap is stationary. And can't really do much of a split. Let's see, the ankle is on a ball joint, which allows for fairly decent range of movement. And I think the joint itself, yeah, is on a hinge inside there. And again, as I mentioned before, you have a seam line going down the middle. Like down there and then down here as well. Accessory wise, what you see is what you get. At least that's what is advertised and what you're supposed to be building. But it's pretty decent. You have the two blasters up here and you have the really cool sword. Let's pull this out. And that just goes right into the hand like so. He holds it pretty decently. I think I can even get, yeah, there we go. Push it in a little bit and that's not going nowhere. And he looks so cool with this thing. Of course, it helps that I love giant swords. Now, I say that's all he is advertised for because he does have some other accessories. He has this large rifle. It's not a beam rifle because technically this thing was made before they had access to beam weaponry, including a shooting hand to go with it. So you can just pop out the hip fist there and plug that in. But they don't advertise you building this thing. You also have this sort of Gatling gun-like weapon, which actually can connect to the side here on his arm. And you see this and the machine gun weapon right here are leftovers from the original version of the kit. In fact, you have plenty of other parts like these are the original sort of ankle guards here. You even have flip it around. These are the original shoulders and the original like top of the head. This one has a special head because it uses the command fin like thing. There's even this part, which I don't know what it is. Possibly front skirt part or something. I don't know. You don't have the shield that goes over this, but if you wanted to, you can equip them with this. And it doesn't look far off, to be honest. No camera stick or anything, but yeah. Don't know if I'm going to display him with this or not, but I may reuse this later. At the very least, yeah, this has potential for custom fodder in it. In addition to the foil stickers, he also comes with some clear stickers for special markings, and I had them like just a few seconds ago and they disappeared. But this right here gives you an idea of some of the ones that you would have. So you have a Zaf marking and that personal rose or whatever that is marking. They were clear stickers though, so up to you if you would think that's a loss or something like that. I think there was also some numbers on there. Let's go ahead and compare him to some other kits. First up, minus his striker pack, is the Strike Noir, which we saw on the channel earlier. So you can see the Strike Noir is a little bit taller than him. If you go kind of overall wise, I think these things and the command fin bring him up a little bit more than that. And from Seed Destiny, we have the Wyndham. Kind of has a comparable color scheme there, don't you think? And it's kind of interesting seeing like these all together because they all have very different methods of construction. This one being very much sort of an old school kit, while Strike Noir actually has some stuff that you can sort of see how it evolves into what we get with modern HG kits. Anyway, overall, I think I would recommend this kit. Yeah, it's very old. It has some weird, unfortunate things with it, but I just dig how it looks, and I think overall it's actually pretty good, especially for its age. So yeah, if you have a chance to get this thing and get it for a decent price, I'd say go for it. Anyway, that has been a review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Check the description below for links to my storefront where you can get official Shelf Space t-shirts and more. And yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you the next time you invade my shelf space.